Why are black women furious at passport bros?
German woman did not lie when she was talking about us black women. She ain't lie at all. I seen a lot of people, they was mad. Like, they was mad at her. And it's like, why are you mad? If you're mad, that means there's some things you need to correct in yourself.
Why are black women furious with passport bros? So Soraya broke the internet recently and she talked about the issues with black women and the fact that black women are no longer competition for German women or foreign women based on what they're able to offer to black men. Why is it that so many black women are now furious with Soraya, furious that foreign women are taking black men and outright saying that black women can no longer compete with them for black men? Watch to the end of the video to have these questions answered and to understand the consequences black women are now facing because they did not know how to take care of these men, and now other women are taking these men, and the implications it means for what remains of the black community. Sit back, relax, and let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit.
I'm going to tell y'all something. This is something terrible and I have to point this out because I don't want to interrupt here. But when you go out to eat with a woman, if you notice, they don't offer you to allow you to taste their food, but they always want to taste your food. Why is it that? Why do they do that? It's because they're trying to establish dominance right away. They say it, eat off his plate, to establish dominance right away. When a woman offers you what she has, she's letting you know that she is generous and that whatever is hers, she will share it with you. She will give you more than she will take from you. This is what she is trying to establish immediately. This is it's such a huge thing.
No, none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown because unfortunately, a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time.
Hey, I even took one little thing that she said. I was like, I do need to eat that up right there because I don't be doing that. But everything else, I be doing for my man, period. 10 toes down, I do those things. But a lot of black women do not value men. A lot of women, period, in America don't value men. And that's the problem. We don't value men, and we can't keep making the excuse of, oh, my upbringing, I was brought up like this or like that, and that's why X, Y, and Z. Because the German lady in the video, she said she was brought up with those morals of valuing men, so she did just that. But hey, I didn't grow up like her, okay? I grew up like pretty much every normal black woman in America. That's how I grew up. but I did not learn. I took the good from my parents and from my mom, and then I threw away the bad. And I was like, okay, obviously there's some changes that I need to do for myself.
Let me tell y'all what this right here is. What this sounds like? That sounds like a woman walking away. What is MWA? MWA, men walking away, has nothing to do with being centered around women. MWA is men walking away from toxic relationships, toxic environments, away from the things that are not working for them and towards the things that do. What MWA is often referred to by the community as men with alternatives. They are going towards their best alternatives. Okay? You're walking away from the things that don't work for them. If you listen to the content that I make on here, what you should be doing is listening to the things that work for you and taking what works for you and then throwing the rest away. That's a lot, one of the reasons why a lot of other groups, even some MGTOWs, don't like what I have to say. Because I'm telling you, take what you want, take what works for you from my words, and what doesn't work, throw the rest away. And that pisses off a lot of people. Because if I could tell you to do that with me, then you're going to say, well, I can do this with other people. And other people hate that. They hate the notion of you saying, well, take what works for you and then leave the rest behind, because they want to indoctrinate you. They want to say, well, if this works, you also have to listen to this. That's what they do in the church. Okay, well, if Jesus says this, and then this must also be true, right? So if I'm preaching this part of Jesus, of this part of the message of God, well, then you also have to listen to this part too. They don't like you telling people to think for themselves. What this woman has done right here is she is thinking for herself. It sounds like she is thinking for herself. It sounds like she's walking away. She took from her parents the ideals and morals and the good things that they had to provide that worked, and she left the rest behind. She threw the rest away. Okay? And that's what an adult is supposed to do. That's what an adult male, adult female is supposed to do. That's how they're supposed to act.
And that's what a lot of us need to do. A lot of us don't be wanting to do that. But that German lady, she ain't lied. She did not say anything false about us black women. We need to get it together. Like, and with my man, we have talked sometimes, and sometimes he talks about like the previous relationships that he was in and how the basic stuff that I feel like is basic that I do for him, he's like, I've never had that happen to me. Like, I've never had a woman ever care for me like that or do this X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, these are normal.
This is why I say men have to step their game up. Cooking and cleaning is basic stuff. Like, you go overseas to Thailand, you meet a pretty girl in Thailand, right? This girl starts cooking for you. I'm talking about a bar girl. I'm talking about a bar girl. All right? They start cooking for you. They start cooking for you immediately. They start cleaning for you immediately. They start washing your clothes immediately. They start organizing your space immediately. All right? They start doing these things immediately. You're eating something. They grab a piece of paper and start wiping your mouth. All right? You're laying in bed, just watching a YouTube video. They start giving you a massage. All right? I'm just being so real. You know, you're laying down, just like watching a video. They notice that your toenails are a little long. All right? They grab a nail clipper. They start cutting your toenails. Okay? They look at your knees. You're like, oh, your knees are a little ashy. Whoop. They grab a bottle of lotion. All right? They start putting lotion on your knees, lotion on your legs. I'm just being so honest. Your skin is dry. Oh, they're gonna rub some lotion on you. I'm just being so honest. And they do these things by default. And a lot of men are like, "Oh my gosh, this woman is this woman is amazing." This is just how women are outside of the United States. All right? Outside of Western society, where women do not resent men, do not hate men. It's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. Women treat men differently overseas, and it's just a natural notion of, oh, I'm going to take care of the man I'm with. Because women over there know how to take care of a man. They know how to play the role of a feminine woman, of a woman. The man provides and protects. Okay, the woman creates comfort in the life of the man. Men, on the other hand, have to basically play both the masculine and the feminine role in the relationship, all right, while they're dealing with masculine energy from women in Western society. And then you wonder why men are walking away and staying away. What are the consequences of all of this happening? The consequences are very easy. The consequences are more and more men saying they're done with relationships, not going to get married, not going to have children, want to have live separate lives, or if they do want a relationship, they're going to go overseas and find a woman who is fit, feminine, and friendly. Come 2030, 45% of all women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single. And that's just counting the women who will be childless and single. That's not counting the single mothers. If you're counting the single mothers, you're looking at 70 to 80% of all women in the United States being single, not having a man. Okay? That's a lot of single women. That's a lot of women who will have to turn completely to the state for the state to subsidize their living. And the state's not doing it. The state does not have public housing like that. The state cannot even pay, as I wanted to say, barely. The state cannot pay its bills right now. They cannot pay the interest on all of the debt that it has right now. And women think that the state is going to come up with this glorious plan for communism and start handing out free money to everyone when they can't even pay their bills. Forget about socialism, all right? Forget about socialism. No. We're talking about communism where everyone has the same, like basically, like look at China right now. China cannot even afford communism. China cannot do communism. They have, they have the CCP, which is the Chinese Communist Party, but they cannot afford communism in their country. They cannot afford to go around and give people a place to live and food to eat or any of these things in China. They can't do it over there. And America, that has over $34 trillion in debt right now and cannot even pay the interest on that debt, is going to start doing this? Come on, guys. That's delusion. You're just going to have more men choosing to live separate lives away from relationships and society, and women who are going to be falling in deep states of destitution, especially among African American women. Because you have women like Soraya who aren't playing around. They're taking the best of these men. Think about this. To be a man who can travel overseas, okay, because most men won't even become passport kings. Either they don't have the money to do it or they don't have the drive to do it. These are men who are willing to leave their country, go overseas to go and meet someone. And they have the money and the drive to do it. So obviously, these are the high value men. These are the men who are survivors. They can go to a country where they don't even speak the language and thrive. What does that tell you about these men? Tyrone can't do this. Chad can't do this. Pookie and Ray can't do this. Little Poncho barely speaks a word of English, and he's been in the United States for over 20 years. What does that tell you about these men? So the men of value are being taken by women all around the world. And I said that this was going to happen. I said that it was going to be like the American Idol International Edition, where women around the world in every different country were going to be competing for American men. The women in Western society, they chose this for themselves. By the way, guys, subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race, by clicking the link in the description to get your free copy and signing up for the newsletter. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Why are Black women furious with passport bros? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it more in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.